If I have to introduce this guy and you claim to be a Clevelander, you're not a Clevelander. For that matter, you're not a foodie. Michael Symon, pretty much owns the world now.
Oh,
do I have that straight?
I own a house.
And a big mortgage.
Yeah.
Michael's the headliner at the Fabulous Food Show this year. He's on every day, everywhere, sort of like a photobomb kind of deal where he's... How's the show for you so far?
So far, so good, Joe. First day, just got here. Had a great demo earlier. Carla Hall had a demo right before me, who I adore. She's just salt of the earth, and I always love when she's in my hometown. So it's been great. Very, very happy to be here. Very happy to be home. I was home last weekend. It was sunny and beautiful. I landed last night. It was not sunny and beautiful.
This isn't Miami? What?
No, exactly.
What are you doing at the show? What kind of demos are you doing?
Well, this morning's demo, I'm doing a couple different ones. This morning I did what you make for your Thanksgiving guests that stay overnight. So
those who won't leave.
Those who won't leave. So I did a couple very quick, simple egg dishes. As a chef and as someone who loves to cook, we all know that really the hardest thing to cook the right way is an egg. So I showed everybody how to do a properly scrambled egg. Then we made a frittata, and then we did eggs in hell, where we poached the eggs in a spicy tomato sauce.
That's a good recipe.
Yeah.
I edited that recipe. I'm making this one.
Yeah, it's
That's
a good one.
Real
It's
nice.
a good one.
And the feta frittata sounds really
the
good
spinach
too.
with the feta was really, really tasty.
Okay. So the news I'm hearing floating around is that you're looking at a new opening target date for the new restaurant?
Yeah.
So what's the word?
Well, Mabel's, we're probably not going to open till spring. And we're fine with that. This is our first new concept in about 7 years. We want to make sure it's perfect. We're having a lot of custom smokers built. They take
nice.
time.
Yeah.
A lot of reinforcing of floors to support those 2,000-pound smokers. But I think in the end, the extra time is going to make sure we have an extra special restaurant. And, we're calling it Cleveland Barbecue, so it's going to be inspired by the things that we grew up at the West Side Market. We're not going to be Texas barbecue in Cleveland selling hot links. We're going to be selling kielbasa, and we're going to be, the sauce is going to be based around Burtman's Ballpark mustard and delicious versions of sauerkrauts. And so it'll really be a low and slow smoked meat, but with the comforts of Cleveland.
And for those who haven't followed this, tell us a little bit about the location and how that came together.
Sure. It's we're on East 4th Street, directly next door to Lola. Terry Tarantino had the restaurant there prior to us. It was a Mediterranean eatery for the most part. La Strada.
Right.
So a lot of Italian food, a little bit of Mediterranean food. So the kitchen's just not set up for what we want to do there. So we really have to do a full gut job and rework it to get the smokers in to do all those things. So it's going to take a little bit of extra time, but as a chef, I don't mind that at all because it gives us extra time to perfect the dishes that we want to do.
Additional cool news, word has it that you're going to be stepping into some pretty formidable, probably smaller,
massive shoes.
Yeah, Wolfgang Puck is stepping down as the honorary chair, the culinary chair of the Five-Star Sensation, which is really arguably the biggest fundraiser in northeastern Ohio.
I would say in the Midwest.
In the Midwest, yeah. Huge event. Chefs from around the world.
It was when Wolf started doing this in 1987, other than in Los Angeles, no culinary event like this existed.
Right.
So the second one was in Cleveland. At the time, I was working at Sammy's in the Flats as a cook, and all these rock star chefs came in, and I would prep for them for 2 years. So a lot of the inspiration that I had to become a chef happened from those very early years for me in 1987. It's where I met Jonathan Waxman. It's where I met Dean Faring. It's where I was fortunate enough to meet Jean-Louis Pelledin before he passed.
What a character.
And Jonathan has continued to be a tremendous mentor to me. Dean is a dear friend. So, we want to make sure that those chefs that have really built this event to what it is are still around. I want to bring in some chefs that are really close to me. And then because the dining scene in Cleveland is so much more prolific now than it was in 1987, I want to make sure some of those great local chefs are included into this really special event.
Yeah, I know it's early on in the whole process, but you're already working on the local angle too.
Yeah, working on the local angle. Obviously we're going to make the call-outs to chefs who I feel have had a great impact on the city, not only as chefs and restaurateurs, but in the embracing of the culinary arts in the city of Cleveland. So, I'll be calling out to Johnny Sawyer and Rocco and Paul Manillo and Karen Small, and, people that I really feel have had a tremendous impact on Cleveland, both as a dining scene and community.
Cool. Not to keep you too much longer, I did want to ask, you're going to be doing a Taste of the Neighborhood block party tomorrow. Say a couple words about what that's all about.
I'm really excited about this. You and I have talked about it on the phone a little bit. We're having a block party tomorrow night. It's going to be a lot of great local restaurants, a live polka band.
Yep.
So, when you and I were talking about it before it came to reality, like, I think to us and to most Clevelanders, when I think of Cleveland, I think of pierogies, kielbasa, and polka. And I mean that in the greatest of ways, and beer. And, and oddly enough, about 4 weeks ago, Liz and I were out at an event in Brooklyn, and someone goes to me, we got to bring you to the hippest bar in Brooklyn, the hippest bar in Manhattan, the hippest bar on the East Coast. And I go in, and they were serving pierogies, bratwurst, beer, and had polka. And I said, we've been doing this in Cleveland for 100 years. So somehow the nation is catching up to us, Joe. They now know that the coolness lies in the kielbasa and the polka.
Set the bar high.
Very high.
Michael, thank you so much.
You,
Great to
Great
see you,
to
man.
see
Take
you
care
also.
of yourself. Thank you.